Good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Sorry, I'm a little off angle, but I'm kind of leaving this area over here open for graphics and things of that nature, and we're going to split the screen and all of that good stuff. But anyway, welcome here tonight to Brevard Sports Network, where we continue our volleyball previews. And our third team of the preseason is in studio, and arguably one of the best volleyball teams in Brevard County, no doubt about that, coming into the 2023 season. Please help me welcome from the Merritt Island Mustangs, from left to right on your screen will be Bella Schwantz, in the center, Maddie Johnson, and on the far right, Heather Ives. Now, Bella, you're the lone junior of the group, so I always start with the upperclassmen, so I'm going to start with the seniors. Heather, let's start with you. What have you done this summer, and how has your summer been?
My summer's been great, and I've definitely trained a lot in the gym with open gyms, and I was helping coach a summer league, so that was very fun, helping inspire young girls to play volleyball.
That's awesome. Very cool, very cool. Maddie, I know you played club, right? Who do you play for again?
Cape Coast.
Cape Coast. Tell me about your summer. Where'd you travel to this year, and how much did you win?
So I played 18, so the season ended early, and then we went to nationals.
Okay.
I forget where it was, though.
That's all right. That's a lot of volleyball when you forget. Where was nationals?
Was it Ohio? It was Ohio.
Ohio,
That's
okay.
what it was. And then I went to a bunch of college camps.
Okay.
And did open gyms.
Okay, we're going to talk about recruiting coming up here in just a second. Bella, I ran into you a couple of weeks ago at a soccer game.
Yeah.
How was your summer, and do you play club volleyball?
My summer was good, and I play at the same club as
Cape
Maddie.
Coast?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the coach over there for 18?
Lindsay Tipton.
Lindsay, okay.
She teaches at Astronaut.
That's right. Okay. All right. Okay, ladies. Let's talk about Merritt Island volleyball. Now, when you think of Merritt Island volleyball, let's start with last year. Okay, let's go back to last year and recap just a little bit. For the first time in a while, and this is I'm not saying anything that anybody doesn't know, but for the first time in a while, it's a fair assumption to say that Merritt Island wasn't the top team in Brevard County. And that's okay, because 17 years holding that mantle is a long time. Eventually, somebody will jump up and bite you every once in a while. Heather, my question to you is, what did you learn from last year that you're bringing into this year? And, let's start there.
I think last year we had a pretty rough year because that was our first year after losing 6 seniors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was like losing a lot of leadership because they definitely played big roles on the team. And basically last year I think we learned how to fill those shoes so that this year we can become the leaders on the team and drive to have the best year that we can.
That's an outstanding answer. And, of course, I should have prefaced that by saying losing 6 seniors, arguably the 6 best seniors that ever stepped on a volleyball court for Merritt Island. I know you've had, Lexi and Shay, but they were 2, and this was 6. So that was a huge loss, Maddie. But I thought you all did extremely well. You all battled. Did it feel like to you last year, Maddie, and talk to me a little bit about this, that, you know what, you were a good volleyball team, but a lot of those matches felt like battles, so to speak?
So this year I feel like we're coming together more.
Right.
Even the first couple open gyms, we're already just there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
And we're more of we were a team, but now we're more of sisters and together.
I got you. Okay, so it feels more cohesive. Bella, what would you add to that?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're already having fun, and it's like a family.
Feels mid-season form.
Yeah.
No, okay, I get it. I totally get it. Okay, so obviously the pressure's still there because as I've watched volleyball in this county, club, coaching, all of it, it is really gone to another level. I mean, even, and any one of you can take this, even since you started playing, do you ever remember a time when volleyball in this county is as good as it is now? No, I don't either. And that's the coaching. That's a tribute to you ladies who do a fantastic job. And volleyball has become, for example, that's all you all play, right? I mean, you only play volleyball and you do it all year long. So, I mean, that's what makes you so good in your focus. All right, Heather, I want to talk about your senior year is coming up. there are a lot of great things, and this has nothing to do with volleyball. There are a lot of great things that happen for high school seniors. What are you looking forward to the most off the court this year? You know, the proms, the grad bashes, all of that stuff that happens. Right? Yeah, well, that was last year. But what are you looking forward to the most this year as a senior off the floor?
As my senior year, like, I'm in a lot of clubs.
Right.
But, like, none of that matters because the most exciting thing to me is that my sister's coming up as a freshman, and she's playing volleyball.
Oh, cool. Who's your sister?
Amber Ives.
Okay.
She made our varsity team, so the most exciting thing to me is being able to play with her.
Is playing with your sister this year. That is awesome. How about for you? What are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, graduating.
Yeah, just walking across that stage.
And just like the memories that it brings.
Now, I've watched you both play volleyball. You're both very good at volleyball. To me, you both should be playing in college. Do you want to play in college? Is that something you're pursuing? Heather, we'll start with you.
I didn't really want to play in college.
Okay.
Not really, but I mean, if I do, I think I would play beach in college.
Gotcha. What do you like about the beach game over the indoor game?
It's much more of like a strategic game.
'Cause
kind
there's
of like
two.
Chess, and
Yeah.
so it's fun to be able to like outsmart the other team. Like, as it has to do with like athleticism, but it also has to do with like mental plays.
Did all of you play on the beach team this past year that went to the state tournament?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun watching you ladies, go up to Tallahassee. That was weird how they did it. I mean, I still don't understand the format, but hey, you got to go to Tallahassee and play.
Yeah.
Maddie, I know how seriously you take the sport. I know how much you love the sport. I already know the answer to that question, but take me through how your recruiting's going and, kind of what you want to do in the future with this.
It's going like really, really good.
Good.
I've talked to and went to camps this summer,
Right.
so it's getting there to the next step.
You will promise me, and I got it on tape, that when you make your commitment, I won't find out on a tweet. You'll send me a text, say, "Hey, Mr. Allen, I've committed. Here's where I'm going." You'll do that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Now, Heather mentioned playing with her sister. Mm-hmm. That's something you didn't get an opportunity. I'm sure you do, but not at the high school level. Talk a little bit about, I'm curious, and I would love, we've talked about having your sister come in here. Talk a little bit about the volleyball dynamic in your family because it's very prevalent.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, I've always just grown up like watching my sisters play. Like all of my sisters played.
I'm sorry, how many sisters do you have?
3.
Okay, and who's the oldest?
Morgan.
Morgan. Okay, does she still play?
No, she has a kid.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Bobby's the only one that plays like collegiate.
Got you.
Yeah.
And she's at Eastern Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she has like 2 years or 3 of eligibility
Nice.
left. So I think she said something about like seeing where I go and maybe we could go to
Do
the
it together.
Yeah.
How cool was it last year to have Bobby there as an assistant coach with you? Now, listen, I have a younger brother by 10 years. I could never have coached him. We would have killed each other, and there's just no doubt about it. He would have been off the team, and I would have been in jail.
Yeah.
All right, that's just the way that would have worked. How did that dynamic work out for you last year?
It was really good because it was my first year, like in Merritt Island. So
Yeah.
having someone like I could just always talk to,
Right.
Like no matter what, like just having like a family member, it was really great.
That is awesome, and I can tell you that I'm excited about the upcoming season, Heather. And I know it's only been just a couple of days that you've been in, Jim, and you talked about the camaraderie of this team. What feel outside of that on the court strategically? What feels different about this team this year? Listen, you were all very athletic last year. I mean, this is a very good volleyball playing team. What feels different this year?
I think we have a lot of big players this year. And
Right.
People that can play multiple things, and I think we could be a very flexible team where we can like see our opponent and then adjust to what has to be done. And that's very important.
That's a great answer because last year when I would talk to Coach Patrick, Maddie, after the games, she would say, we just need a couple more inches up front. And she seems to have gotten it this year because you ladies have gone through a growth spurt over the summer this way. And talk a little bit about what you like about what you're seeing so far because you all do, but you strike me as the type that really looks into the X's and O's of this thing. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about that and what you like.
So at tryouts, like we're having to battle for our positions this year.
Gotcha.
Last year we kind of knew like where everyone was.
Right.
But this year we're not like equal, but it's definitely more challenging. And when we scrimmage, it's like almost 25-25 like each time.
I like that.
We're going, and like it's just very aggressive. And
Coach Patrick prides yourself on the JV teams as well. So how were the numbers this year? Did the numbers come out good this year? Anybody can take that.
No,
yeah.
go ahead.
We're still looking for a lot of freshmen. Because,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, who isn't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Here with Bella Schwantz, Maddie Johnson, and Heather Ives as we continue our volleyball previews for the upcoming season. And so now I want to go to Coach Patrick because when it comes to volleyball in this, Merritt Island is, I was talking to a gentleman by the name of Chuck Goldfarb about this, and I think a lot of people forget, the Merritt Island program was put in place and was started to be built by Connie Denneberg, and then, of course, Angie Patrick took over. I'm curious to know what it's like to play for Coach Patrick. I listen, I mean, I love watching her coach. You know, the number of wins her winning percentages is ridiculous. I mean, you know, the state championships, all of it, the talent, we know about all that. But what's it really like? And Maddie, I want to start with you on this one. What's it really like to play for Coach Patrick?
she always says don't take it for granted because someone else can always come in and take your spot. So if you're not willing to put your best effort forward, then don't come because she wants the best of the best.
No, and I mean, that has been reflected in the way this program has operated over the last 17, 18, 20 years. Heather, what would you add to that?
I think it's very much tough love, and she'll tell you things, but they're always true.
Right.
And she's trying to drive you to be like the best you can be. So we do a lot of like conditioning and hard work, like in the weight room and like, outside, like running. But it's all together, and I think it brings us together as a team because we're like all like struggling together.
No, I get it. As a junior, Bella, Coach Patrick knows she has you for another year, and you were significant minutes and time, and all of your stats, by the way, have been flashing on the screen along with highlights of your you playing. So, what's it like for you? You had a sister that played for her. What's it like for you?
I think Coach Patrick just demands so much out of us, but it's just out of love.
Right.
She just wants us our end goal is obviously to go to states
right.
to win. So I think she just expects us, she knows we can get there, and it's just how the progression of getting there.
Right, makes sense. I guess my next question: does she ever get out there and play on the court with you all? How is she still got it?
Sometimes.
What does she do best?
Hit.
Yeah.
She'll hit down balls and stuff.
Oh, really?
Out of nowhere, it would just be like what?
What?
What just happened?
Did you just do that?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
You can't.
Yeah, one of you will have to sneak me a video one time. I'd love to see that. Y'all do some pretty cool things during the year as a team too, and a lot of things I get to see that the public don't get to see, like the way you dress up for Halloween and things like that. What's your favorite team activity that you do? There's so many. You do a lot of them. I know Coach Patrick believes in that. Maddie, what's your favorite team activity?
I would definitely say either when we go to the tournament and
right.
have we get a hotel or whatever, and we're
right.
all together, and we end up doing something to either prank Coach Patrick or she's getting us.
Pranks.
Or team bonding when it's just the girls. But we last year we hot dogged and forked her yard.
Do you remember what happened after that? Remember the prank she played on you?
It was something with you.
Right. Team suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me a picture of what you all had done to her front yard, and obviously then people were seeing it on the screen, and I said, well, why don't I send you a fake post saying that the team is suspended and you're going to go ahead and forfeit or something? I can't remember what it was.
She made us run also. It was so, if we do something to her, we have to,
make up for
yeah.
it.
I got you.
Get
Okay.
us coffee.
It's worth it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Here with junior Bella Schwantz and senior Maddie Johnson and Heather Ives. Ladies, as we look at your schedule, as the viewers are looking at your schedule on the screen right now, one of the things that I think separates this program from the rest is the schedule that you play, these tournaments you go and play. Obviously, we know about the in-county rivalry with Merritt Island or with Vieira, but what is there a game you got circled on your calendar, or is there? And I'm not asking you to talk to us. I'm just saying, is there a team you're looking forward to playing this year?
Lake Nona's new.
Lake Nona. Okay. Let's see. Where is Lake Nona? Lake Nona is September 28th. That's away. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look at this schedule. You got Bishop Moore,
which we've played in 2 years ago.
Yeah.
right? Beat them.
We've beat them and lost to them.
That's right. Of course, you got the regular Holy Trinity. You got Vieira twice, it looks like. So it's going to be a fun year. How do you get past Vieira this year? Just play your game, right?
Yeah.
Just play your game. That's going to be a lot of fun, those two matches. And obviously, if I had to make my prediction now, I would say that the Cape Coast Conference will once again come down to Vieira and Merritt. I mean, no disrespect to any other volleyball team. And look, maybe, Astronaut with Diego and his returners can make a run there, but we'll see. All right, let's find out a little bit about you ladies, because volleyball is your life, but it's not your entire life. And so this is the part I enjoy the most, is getting to know you off the court. Heather, we'll start with you. Obviously, I know you're a family girl because you love playing with your sister. Talk a little bit about your family, and what does Heather do to relax?
I have an older brother, and he graduated 2 years ago with like Jordan Patrick and that group.
Right.
And he played a couple of different sports. And then my little sister, who's been playing volleyball since I've been playing volleyball.
I got you.
That,
Who's the best athlete in the family?
Ooh, that's a rough blow.
Because you're all very good?
Yes. I think Amber might be, because she started the youngest.
Right.
I mean, me and my brother Bobby, we started.
Maddie's chiming. She's like, it's Amber.
They always bullied her, and like we're always just like, so she's like grown up to it.
That tough love.
I like it. Well, that's, when you're the youngest, that's what you get. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
And we definitely, like, I have a volleyball court at my house, and we like playing as a group and inviting people over there, and definitely like playing fun little tournaments.
That's cool.
We've done a co-ed tournament at my house, and that was a lot of fun. Like,
nice.
Had everyone enter in some money, and I definitely liked that a lot, and I need to do another one of those.
What do you do for fun?
I go to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
The boat, but I have younger siblings, so I'm with them a lot also.
Okay, so this is very cool, because I hate when people talk trash about your generation, because I don't find it to be true. I don't. Mm-hmm. What I find interesting about your generation is that more so than mine, you get along with your siblings. I know obviously families fight and they argue in this, but every time I ask student athletes about their families, no matter who it is, they talk about their sisters and their brothers. And I think that's very cool, because I think that's one of the downfalls of my generation and the generation after me is the sibling rivalries end up getting in the way of, I wouldn't say the love, because you'll always love your brothers and your sisters, but ended up getting in the way of the closeness that could be possible, where you all seem to embrace that. Mm-hmm. Talk about your relationship.
I honestly think COVID did a lot with it, because we were home for that amount of time, and like you were together, so you had to find something to do,
right?
Someone.
You had to make compromises. Yes. Yeah. So the beach for you. How about for you? What do you do for fun?
The same, like just the beach and
just
the boat.
Chilling out.
Yeah.
Got you. I got you. If I picked up your phone right now, Maddie, what would be the last couple of songs you listened to, or what do you listen to get you pumped up, warmed up, ready to go?
So it changes a lot.
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
My mom made a playlist, and it's a bunch of old songs.
Okay. Okay. No, my God, I don't know if I want to hear this, but go ahead.
So I think one of them's called "Stay in Love" or something.
Yes.
And then there's like some other ones, but we listened to it in the Bahamas, and I was like, "What?" I was just shocked. I was confused. And she goes, "Listen to it. Like, it's better than yours." So I started listening to it, and it just like made me laugh. So I've been listening to that.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. How about you, Heather? What do you like to listen to?
Well, before games, I would say like in practices, like my sister's definitely like my like passenger like princess, like she does all the DJ stuff.
Right.
So we listen to a lot of Drake and like Kendrick Lamar.
I got you.
Just like all that rap stuff.
So a lot of pop and rap and stuff. How about for you? What are you listening to?
Same thing, like rap and just anything upbeat, or like the early 2000s,
Okay.
anything like that.
Here's the big question. Merritt Island's got a lot of great restaurants, lot of great places to go. Like, I'm not talking about like Olive Garden. I mean, I love Olive Garden, soup and salad, all you can eat,
We
the best
always
thing in
go
the
Olive
world.
Garden.
It is
That's
the
our
best.
team.
I mean, there's nothing like Olive Garden. You know, it's like, where you want to go tonight? Olive Garden. We go there all the time. Yes, I know, but that's where you asked me where I wanted to go. That's where I want to go. After a game, big game, just had a big game. Where are you going and what are you ordering?
I don't know. We get off of games kind of late.
We do breakfast a lot.
All right. So, tell me the breakfast choice.
So Cozy Corner,
Okay.
and I get like the biggest breakfast on the menu. It has bacon, ham, sausage, 3 eggs.
You can eat all that?
Yeah.
I got you.
Toast, and there's something else, but something funny. Macy Sinclair used to get like this what was it called? It was like a hash with everything just mixed together. I don't know.
Like I don't know.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes, and we always.
And she would eat it all, wouldn't she? She'd kill it, no doubt.
Yes.
How about what do you get at the breakfast table there?
It definitely changes from time to time, but I like the pancakes.
Yep,
There. They're
I knew
definitely
you were
very-
gonna
I
say
knew you were gonna say
How about you, Bella?
I either get an omelet or like 2 eggs and like bacon and.
I love that you're meat and potato girls. I like that a lot. That's cool. I'm an omelet guy. I got to get one of those Western omelets filled up with meat. I want to go back here for just a second before I ask you about your team as a whole. Watching the 6 seniors. Now you've had 2 years now since they've graduated, and I know that you were freshmen. I think you were at Edgewood at the time,
Yeah,
though, right? You were at Edgewood at the time. But you two were sophomores when they were there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so watching them go to college, and each of them have had their own experience, and I know all of them stay in touch and very close to the program. But what would you say you've learned about what they've gone through over the last 2 years? What have you learned from them?
It's definitely like okay for change.
Right.
And like don't be settled for something that's not making you happy or like not what you want.
Gotcha. How about you, Heather?
I would definitely say like I agree with Maddie, and like things are never like permanent, and just because like you think something's gonna be good for you doesn't mean that like it's gonna be like the same always. Like you're gonna have to change.
I think that's a great answer. All right, let's have some fun with your team. If I were to ask you, and I ask these questions a lot, not to every team, but the teams I can tell are fun, so to speak. Who takes the longest to get ready for a match?
So we have new girls, but I would definitely say Cameron.
Cameron?
Or Juliana.
Yeah.
Or Juliana?
Like the hair like has to be perfect.
Yeah,
Right.
like slick back, a little touch on the
What
makeup.
is it with like when I used to play sports, I would see a guy, and we didn't even have like a BSN back then, so there was no shot we were ever getting interviewed. And I would say, dude, why are you fixing your hair before a match, right? I mean, what do you do? That's like, somebody would take a shower before. What are you doing when we're going out to play, right? I never understood that, but people are, each people are different. All right, we were just talking about breakfast. Who is the one that can eat the most? And it sounds like you, Maddie, right? I'm just going to maybe can eat the most, and you go, my God, where does she put it? Who is that?
I would definitely say me.
You. Who's like the craziest one? The one where like, let's say for example, well, we'll just say crazy. When I say crazy, I mean crazy in a good, fun way. Like, who's the wild child?
Jules or Riley, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juliana's
Okay.
definitely crazy.
Like Riley's like she just I don't know.
Just wild
You can
child.
just
She's
tell the
more
way she
goofy.
plays because she like goes after everything.
Gotcha.
And like Jules will also do that. Jules is really fast too, so she'll.
Just
Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez out there, like
the little ones.
yeah. I like it. If I said, and I mean just one word to describe the team, what one word would you pick? And you can't say the same thing.
I would say driven.
I was thinking powerful, but like motivated also.
Okay, I'll give you those two.
Like New.
Like, well, you know, but I know
Like
what
a good new.
I know what you mean
I don't
by
know,
that.
like a good
You
word.
know, last year to this year, it's a new. I feel it. Is Coach Connor back this year?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about Coach Connor because you know he runs a very successful volleyball club, Countdown Volleyball. Tell me about playing for. I don't know anything about Coach Connor. Tell me about him.
He's definitely very aggressive.
Yeah.
Like he's getting JV ready to go to varsity. That's like his goal, which
Right.
is very good because sometimes we'll practice with them and we'll end up scrimmaging, and it's like if we're not scrimmaging something that isn't very aggressive or
Right.
just like know the game, then it's not like doing anything.
Yeah.
So he's just setting the girls up for success.
As we get set there, can you believe we've been doing this for almost 30 minutes already? Feels like we're talking for 10 minutes. I know, right? As we get set to wrap up here, ladies, with the season right around the corner, obviously with this program, the state championship is the goal every year. I mean, there is no other goal for this program, and you all know that going in. Heather, how do you shoulder knowing that you're a senior? How do you personally shoulder those expectations?
It's a mindset, really. It's about like knowing that we're gonna play teams that are like want it just as much as we do, and teams that have trained just as hard as we do. But we have to like overcome that and come together. And I think our chemistry is definitely what's gonna drive us this year. And our like high intensity practices are gonna like put us at states this year.
Yeah.
What would you say, Maddie?
Oh, can you say the question again?
How do you shoulder the expectations of knowing that when you walk in that gym, the expected goal is a state championship?
So there's definitely like our team is very not equal, but we don't have that like 6'5" girl that's just pounding balls.
Right.
So we're all together and we're trying to take down that one girl.
Okay.
So we have to set we have stages in every single practice where we have to beat it and go to the next, and it's all timed and just like that's how we do it.
Even as a junior, that's good answers, by the way. Even as a junior, I know you feel because of the way you know, because of what your role is on this team. How do you shoulder those expectations?
Obviously, I want to go to states, and like Maddie, Riley, Heather, all those seniors like are my close friends.
Right.
So like obviously, I want them to go to states and win like their senior.
You want to do it for
year.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like leave everything out on the court and
No.
just everything out in practice, like no matter what.
I find that I will tell you that I love it when an underclassman gives that answer because I think it says a lot about them. Final question for you. You ladies have, listen, student sections are so much fun in volleyball. It's not like football. Listen, they can only do so much in football.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's just not a lot they can do. I mean, it's not like the NFL where they cheer so loud in high school that the other team can't hear themselves think. But it's different in volleyball.
Yeah.
You and Vieira both have the best student sections, and I've seen them make a difference. Do you hear them? Do you tell me how much they help you? Because I love doing Merritt Island volleyball. Aside from watching you ladies play, because of your student section, they're great. Tell me about the importance they are to your team. Anybody? I know you. I know you ladies hear them.
It honestly like makes me do better.
Yeah?
Because the next day, like they're gonna be like, "Oh, like you guys played so good. We're coming to the next." Or,
Right.
like they won't like crap talk, but they'll be like, "You guys better not like lose tonight. Like
Right.
we got a big game coming up."
Do you ever, you know, when the other team's student section sitting on the opposite side of the gym and the administrators are walking around with their arms folded, nervous, right? Because you know they're nervous. I always laugh at that. Do you ever laugh on the court at what they're saying? Because it's fun.
Under my breath.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I don't make it noticeable.
That's funny. Ladies, you've been an absolute joy to have here today, and I appreciate you coming in. And obviously, you know, Brevard Sports Network will be there broadcasting a lot of your games this year. So thank you all very much, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
All right, so that'll wrap it up from the Brevard Sports Network studios tonight with the ladies from Merritt Island. They are Bella Schwantz, Maddie Johnson, and Heather Ives for the Merritt Island Volleyball for Merritt Island Mustangs volleyball, I should say, and I want to thank Coach Angie Patrick as well. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network, and we hope you just enjoyed watching Maddie Johnson, Bella Schwantz, and Heather Ives on a fantastic interview that they just gave. And they, I thought they had some really great things to say, so I want to thank the three of them. And, of course, here with the head coach of those three young ladies here for the Merritt Island Mustangs in her 21st season, 441 career victories. It's incredible. Her winning percentage hovering right around 800 for 21 years. Folks, that's truly, truly incredible. Please help me welcome Angie Patrick. And, Coach, your girls were magnificent. And we'll get into some of the things that they talked about. But the first thing I want to ask you is I know you did a lot of traveling this summer. Talk a little bit about your summer, because I know it was heavily involved on the diamond.
Yeah, it was different this summer. I was a baseball mom. Went several different states. Very, very hot. Shane was pitching for the Canes, and it was a great summer. It was fun to be a baseball mom.
It's funny because it's 340 degrees outside now as we record this, but did you learn any tricks along the way that we don't already know to stay cool?
Little fans from Amazon, one of the moms had, so we
Okay.
picked up on that. Always shaded those chairs with a shade.
You got
Don't
to.
leave the chair at a baseball field and forget about it. All those
All
things.
those little things.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, Coach, before we move on to this season, we want to take a look back at last season. And I'm not saying anything here that nobody doesn't know if they follow the sport, and as a lot of people do in this county. For the first time in 17, 18, 19 years, your team doesn't finish as the top team in the county. So my question would be, and look, it took a lot for that to happen. I mean, that was a very good Viera volleyball team last year. But my question is do you take anything from that, and kind of what do you put to bed and what do you move forward with?
Yeah, each year it's a different team. They're writing their own story. Last year we had 2 seniors that contributed regularly. So we had some issues with leadership sometimes because we had a lot of sophomores.
Right.
So they now are going to be the leaders this year. And, talent changes, and, our mission is still the same. Our mission last year was to get to state and win conference and all those things. So this year is definitely, we're going to try to go all the way.
I thought Heather had a very good, when I asked Heather about that very question, she said, Mr. Allen, she said, for any team to lose as many seniors as we did, she said, it was a learning experience. And I thought that was a great question because, quite honestly, I had taken that for granted and thought about that. But anytime you lose as many fantastic players as you did, to have the type of season, a lot of teams would have to rebuild through that. But you were able to have a really good year last year. All right, so let's talk about this year. You've got some players that, I couldn't believe that Maddie Johnson's going to be a senior already. It's incredible to me to think. But I don't know. It was fun interviewing Maddie. She really has, I remember interviewing her as a freshman or a sophomore, and it, night and day. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about this team this year. And, I know last year the concern was height up front. These girls seem to have put on a few inches. Talk about what you have this year.
Yeah, we just did senior cap and gown with the ball literally 30 minutes ago. So it was like, oh my gosh, no way.
Right.
So, we have actually 5 seniors now. We've had 3 people new to the program entirely. We have 14 girls, which typically I don't keep on varsity. But our practices have been great. We have amazing scrimmages. We're, really working on the fundamentals, letting these new girls know what Merritt Island culture is about.
Right.
And just becoming a family. So it's been great. And Maddie for sure has grown over those few years. She's always been a little spunky girl, Yeah. She's the mom, and Heather's kind of the mom too, but Maddie will tell you what's up. Clean up your stuff, and, she's like, she's got little siblings, so that's how she is.
I gathered that from her. I really did. Here with Angie Patrick and of course, Bella, she was fun to talk to as well, and that dynamic with her sister being on the bench last year, that was neat. Before we go on talking, I want to check in with you about some of those players you had in the past and see how they're doing because, this community, got so close to your daughter, Jordan, and the Macy's, the sister Macy's, I call them. Can you tell us how their first year was? I know Jordan's very excited to be going off to play volleyball this year. Kind of get us caught up on them a little bit.
Reynolds is in Brazil, I believe, right now.
What?
Yeah, she's having a lot of fun with her team, and Sinclair won. They won like the first ever, I think, conference tournament for the JUCOs up at St. John's, and yeah, Jordan's still playing, Katie's still playing.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, we're so proud of them.
It is amazing.
And we actually still have Lexi and Shay going, and
yeah, that's true.
And
yeah.
Bobby's playing at EFSC, so we got quite a few girls.
How about this? How about the seasons that Shay and Lexi had this past year? It was. How proud were you to turn on ESPN and see Stetson and of course UCLA playing in that NCAA regional tournament or that NCAA championship tournament?
Oh, every time we get to see them play, and I got to see them play in person this year, so it was just so special, and it's amazing.
It was certainly
making us really proud.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was a special time for you for this program. But coaches, I look around the county right now. Man, there are so many good volleyball teams, and I ask you this question every year. But it seems the level of competition just seems to jump up more and more every year. What do you attribute that to?
More girls are playing.
Yeah.
And they're seeing these older girls play, and it's inspiring them. So they're starting club earlier. They're going to camps, and they're just excited about it. Hey, I want to try it. And, they're getting now 5, 6, 7-year careers by the time they're in senior in high school. Beach volleyball, same way. It's just all growing. It's amazing.
And it gives them options because it was funny at the table. You ask them these days, what do they want to play? Because you have to ask when they go to college. You want to play indoor or do you want to play beach? Here with Angie Patrick, I want to ask you, too, about Florida Tech because I know you're an alum. And this question, I said, I want to ask her about it during the interview. The volleyball program there, how do you see it? I know you follow it.
Yeah, they have a new coach this year. Penelope's actually back playing.
Is she? That's great news.
Yeah, I'm so excited for her. And I talked to her. She said things are going in a really positive direction.
Good.
So really happy about that. Being an alumni, that is really important to see. Hopefully they'll see all the talent that we have in this county. Because we definitely do. I know I got Kelly from Vieira playing there.
Yeah.
So recruiting in this area, I think, is really, really important.
Florida Tech, I'm telling you, you really probably don't have to go outside of county. All right, Coach, let's get back to your team. Tough schedule again this year. I know you don't have it any other way. We get underway next week, kind of I think it's you, Vieira, Holy Trinity, and Satellite on a Thursday night. Where is that? Is that here?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to have to figure this out because they keep moving these kickoff classics back to Thursday again. But I'd rather be here.
Volleyball's always been Thursday.
Yeah, I know. These guys need to stay on Friday nights. Friday's your night, guys. Let the volleyball have Thursday. All right, Coach, aside from some of the obvious girls that we've talked about, the Heather Ives and Maddie Johnsons and Bellas of the world, who else will be contributing heavily for this team this year?
Oh, we got a lot of contributors. Right now, we're looking at, Riley and Sarah Niazi. They're battling for defense, great defensive players, and serve reception. We've got hitters that can pass, so that back row is going to be competitive. Bella's a great passer, even though she's one of our strongest hitters. We have 4 people going for setting positions that are 4 decent setters.
Wow.
1 a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and 2 juniors, actually. Elena, big right side. We got Shemaya, another lefty.
Nice.
Big right side. Still trying to figure out the middles. Probably, Maddie's going to get thrown out there. She still always gets thrown in the middle. She's so dang athletic. But, yeah, we've got quite a few girls that are going to be able to contribute. Sounds like you're going to have a really good team this year out there. And it sounds like you're going to have a good rotation as well, which I know excites you because watching Coach work the X's and O's is always fun from up top on the perch as well. All right, Coach, let's you get to that scrimmage next week. It's funny because I always say on the other side, down I-95 a little further, what's it going to take to beat that other team this year? My question to you is how do you get back on top of that mantle? Because they come into the year as the top-ranked team in the county, which is unusual to say, but that's where they are. And how do you get past them this year? We've got a really good rivalry going on.
Yeah, it's fun.
And 2 very strong teams, and they're going to be extremely strong again this season. And conference is really about, the pride of the county
Yep.
and all that kind of stuff. But Sarah and I both know, our sights are on state. So we just hope to battle it out here, and the best team that night will win. But they're not in our way getting to state, and we're not in their way getting to state.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So, yep. For sure.
I mean, because that would honestly be a tragedy here in Brevard County. We see that in football sometimes. So as I think about those great matches between your two teams, you mentioned one thing there. The irony behind your journeys in each of the past 2 years has been incredible to me. To think that both. And the season's ended the same. I know I have to though. The same exact way. Did you have? I mean, was there anything that you could tell Coach Wayne about that, or any advice, or you just know from having gone through it yourself?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I felt the pain and the heartbreak. It's so hard. But I watched her interview, and what she said about. You look back and you're like, wow, we had a great season.
Yeah.
And just one small difference, that's a state championship. And, the last 2 years we've lost in the fifth set, and it's heartbreaking.
Yep.
Especially for the seniors. But that's volleyball.
Yeah,
and,
no, it is. And it is,
yeah.
We're done with it. All right. All right. So 21 years. I mean, I know it flies by. Because I've been doing this now for 8 years, and it's incredible to me to think. I can remember sitting over in that corner broadcasting with you a pink game that we did one time, and that was many, many, many years ago. But, I mean, how much longer? I mean, you could do this for another 30 years, I know, but how much longer for you?
I don't know. My son thought I was done when Jordan graduated.
Right.
I'm like, I've been doing this before, like when I was pregnant with Jordan. I
right.
said, it's not about you guys. So as long as I have the energy and the passion and love what I'm doing, which I do, I love teaching here, marine science, and I love coaching here. And I still got that, and I don't see that ending anytime soon. So
I asked you last year about college, and so we didn't get the package for you and Jordan, but, she's got a lot of eligibility left. We'll see one of these days. Man, that would be so much fun. Coach, as we get set to wrap up here, obviously the goal and expectation for this program every year is to reach state. With this particular team, I know you have to approach each team differently, but what does the coach speak for this team? What is the mantra? How do you get to that goal this year with these girls?
Well, right now, like I said, we've got a lot of new girls, so the returners are really getting them on board with the culture. They're seeing that, seeing in practices how we work, off the court, the things that we do, how we act. Tomorrow school starts, so they're going to learn about that and what being a Mustang in the community is like. So that's kind of the focus now, and it's starting to shift to. We're going to compete.
Yeah.
Like, we got to compete, and they've been doing that. But I don't know if they realize, some of them, what it's like to have that target on their back.
Yeah.
So.
It's there. It's definitely there.
It's a lot of pressure, but I think they'll be able to handle it.
You mentioned culture, and I know what Merritt Island culture is as a whole, the island pride, the family thing. What would you say the culture of the volleyball program is?
Just family, and of course, and that you care more about the success of your teammate or your sister than you do your own. That you play for your team, you play for the island, you work hard for the island, and it's not about you. It's the person, the player. Your character matters, your grades matter. So it's built around so much more than volleyball.
It's funny because in the interview you saw just before this one tonight, Maddie Johnson used the word sister several times, and you see where she gets it from. She gets it from simply one of the best here, not just in this county, not just in the state, but in the country at coaching high school volleyball for sure. For the Mustangs, head volleyball coach Angie Patrick, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network.